All right. I think we're good. All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order on the date of February 3rd, 7 p.m. Hybrid Town of Thompson Board of Selectmen meeting. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. We got a couple people in the audience. We're using a little new technology today. Um, Planning and zoning motioned and rallied and took the initiative to buy a new camera and a new microphone and system. I know people in the audience. I know Valerie Clark is in the audience, and I know Valerie and Sally White had commented about improving our cameras and whatnot. So you guys requested it. Here we are. So we'll start to go through our agenda. We don't have a super heavy night tonight, but got a lot of cold related topics to talk about, and most importantly, veteran or veterans of the month this week. So we'll go there. So this meeting is in order at this time. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, in attendance tonight, I have myself, First Selectman Nick Donahue, Second Selectman Larry Consiglio, and Selectman Jeffrey Bolte sitting with us. We also have Rainey Morin for Veterans Affairs, and he's going to present tonight. So that's who we have. First on our agenda, we have approval of meeting minutes from January 6th, 2026. Selectmen, do you guys applicably see that in your packets?
Yes.
Have you had time to review?
Yes.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Jeff Bolte with the motion.
I will second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Thank you. So we have those accepted. All right. Next, we'll move on to correspondence. A little bit of correspondence today. Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection, Troop T. Danielson, quick report. Just a letter to me states how many incidents and accidents and whatnot we've had during the month of October 2025. 165 calls to service in the town of Thompson. Accidents 9, investigations 29, burglaries 1, larcenies 1, non-reportable matters 125. So that would be your calls, complaints that get a log entry, stuff like that. DUIs 4, traffic citations 7, written warnings 15. We appreciate the Connecticut State Police by doing that. I also have a November report, accidents 7, investigations 13, burglaries 0, larcenies 1. Non-reportable matters 139, DUI 0, traffic citations 8, and written warnings 20. Appreciate the Connecticut State Police giving that information. On another note of correspondence and legal matters per se, I think it is important to note that there was a larceny, a break-in at the West Thompson Fire Department over the last, what I'm going to say, 48 hours, where an individual or individuals subsequently had broken into an outbuilding and stolen an ATV. That is currently under investigation. I do not have any more information there as far as the assessed value of that asset or what the plan will be as far as if we're going to seek out an insurance claim on that asset, if it's worth it. So that is something to be, I guess, noted about. Next, we'll move on to Selectmen's comments. I will go first. As far as Selectmen's comments, as all of you know, we'll talk kind of about cold weather issues. I know DPW has been doing a great job, but they're extremely taxed as far as the hours that they're putting in. Please be patient. If you do have any mailboxes that have been subsequently hit, run over, damaged, please notify Joe Tasek or his administrative assistant, Kelly Janess at the town DPW. We have subsequently used our entire salt budget, and we are on to what we call excess. So we are now in typical Thompson fashion, begging, borrowing, and pleading, and moving money around. I will say that this year is definitely above average year, and it is only February 3rd. So expect that in public meetings as far as the budget goes. As far as additional selectmen's comments, our board, our town has been dealing with some heating issues at our library and our community center. which has forced our library to close many times over the last 2 to 3 weeks. This has prompted a lot of investigation, a lot of deep diving into what we've been doing, the proper maintenance that has or hasn't been done, what we need to do. As you all know, Thompson has a habit of level funding and cutting things out of a budget. We're at the point in Thompson where that's not a feasible option anymore. I will say, from my opinion and my business background, there is nothing left. And years of cutting and not appropriately doing things have now forced us in positions like at the library to now have to make sizable investments in fixing things that haven't been maintained. And I will say that I spent most of the day with members of the library staff, our town building inspector, our fire marshal, our heating contractor, trying to get that building, which is the library, back up with heat. Not only is it important because it's a library and it's an amazing place and the staff is amazing, but it's also our town emergency shelter. It's a community center that holds many events. Emergency management utilizes it. Many people utilize this building. Thompson Rec utilizes it. So this is a need that we need to get back. So our contractor, Encore, will be there tomorrow for most of the day fixing it so we can at least get the temperature in the library to hold it at 68 degrees. It's only been able to hold at lower 50s right now. So that's something that's a struggle that I would appreciate everyone's full support on. That will be in a short term, a somewhat moderate expense, and in the long term, we're going to have to think about a capital expense for upgrades to that heating system there. That is an original heating system, 30 plus years old, that I don't know has exactly been properly maintained to the degree of all the recommendations from our contractor. Again, thus the importance of realistic funding and budgets, not only for us, but the highway department, the school, the library. With the rising cost of inflation, to simply the cost to do business, we cannot continue to just simply go without and not fix and not fund. It is going to cost us much more in the long run, and we're every year after year, we're seeing that more and more. We do have a lot of budget workshops and presentations coming up. This Thursday, we have our first budget presentation mixed meeting with the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance. That will be starting at 7 p.m. here at the town hall. The majority of that will be public safety and town hall entities. So there's about 15 people on that list. That agenda has been posted both on Zoom and in person. I encourage all townspeople to come to these budget workshops to realistically see where the money goes. The money doesn't go in a dark hole somewhere. There is no money in boxes that we can dig out of. There is no money being stolen. There simply is no money left to do the things that we need to do. So I want to be realistic with everyone and the townspeople that we are at a crossroads. We were at a crossroads last year. We level funded, and now we're going to be in a even more predicament with what we need to accomplish. There are things that we simply need to do in modern day society and fund applicably. So please be on the lookout for that. Other selectmen, do you have any other comments regarding selectmen's comments?
Yes, on that kind of same vein, I reached out to May Flexer, who's our state senator. And our topic of conversation was special ed excess costs. Conversation was that it's decimating our school budgets, okay? She totally agreed. She said that there was discussion last year in Hartford. She hopes to have some more discussion this year. I expressed, I don't know if the formula has to be changed. I says, but small towns like us are really taking a hit. The burden is just astronomical. Being a small town, we do have a great influx of special ed students. With a 5-to-1 reimbursement rate, and our enrollment has student expenditures just too high. To hit that 5-to-1, it's just decimating us. So we did have a good discussion. She thanked me for calling. Where it goes, we're talking about state government, so who knows? But the call was made, and it was a good conversation.
Yeah, and I'm sure Jeff Bolte, I think since 2015, that number hasn't been raised,
Right.
which subsequently will bankrupt the town of Thompson and every other town like it. I very much, and I know Jeff Bolte it will say is a subject matter expert on this topic.
Yeah, I don't know about an expert.
I would say probably
I listen-
more than Larry and
I
I.
listen a lot at home
Yeah, you know,
and go to the meetings and pay attention.
So
and I do want to piggyback on
yeah,
that.
if you want to talk about that, I think that'd be a great
Having
opportunity.
been doing the budget meetings at at the school, special ed's looking like a quarter of the budget.
We're looking at a $500,000 shortfall this year.
Yeah.
Okay, $500,000. The state doesn't help us.
No.
Okay.
They have to hit 120,000 per student next year just to get a reimbursement, and that's only a partial of the overage of 120.
Yep.
Wild.
So,
It's unfortunate and I'll say this pretty black and white, the disgusting level and lack of support at the state level for education.
awful.
It's crippling towns like Thompson. And I really sincerely hope that our local senators like May Flexer, Jeff Gordon, and our reps will step in and actually hear this corner of Connecticut.
I did reach out to Jeff Gordon. I'm again just waiting for a phone call to come back. But I encourage all our citizens to call our state reps and put a bug in their ear and tell them we need help at town level.
Yep.
Call, email, anything.
anything.
to get-
Hammer 'em.
Yep.
Yep.
The more
Woman
people
call.
reaching out, the better.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
Thank
And
you.
I think to let it be known that I think this board unanimously agrees that the town as a whole, and especially the school, has our full support there on their realistic expectations of how to, educate our kids. I think they're doing a great job with what they have. And we'll continue to move forward and really have these transparent conversations. I think everybody on this board will unanimously agree with me that we were not elected and we were not put here to sugarcoat it for the town. That is not me, and it is not these two individuals. I want to give everyone a very clear picture of the state of affairs that we are in the town of Thompson and where we need to be in a better place and how we're going to get there. Which starts with realistic conversations like today.
I do want to add one more thing. It's more
Go for it. Yeah.
just to kind of get information out from the town. The Route 200 Bridge project, do we have any information?
Yeah, that's a great question. Emergency management, is leading a conversation with Connecticut DOT. That is in the works. It is scheduled for a week and a half from now.
February 19th.
February 19th. We are going to meet with them. We have had multiple public safety meetings over the last couple months to go over our emergency response plan and how we're going to effectively respond to emergencies. So those conversations are in the works, but we will have more information to come after that subsequent meeting with Connecticut DOT. And I appreciate emergency management for all their hard work that they continue to do for this town. So that's all I have for, I think, selectmen's comments. I guess we'll move on to citizens' comments. We'll start in the audience here in person first. We do have some new technology. If you are in the Zoom room, you're having trouble hearing us, whatever, feel free to type in. We'll go to the Zoom room next. But does anyone in the crowd have any citizen comments? If you do, please stand, come up to the chair, and then state your name and address. Trying this new camera, so it's working good so far.
Hi there.
Good evening.
Wayne.
Good evening.
Wayne O'Brien, 108 Fabian Road, North Road, Connecticut.
Thank you. Have a seat. Get going.
School budget's always tough. My question is there something in our drinking water? Because, no offense, we got like 20% or more of kids in special ed. I mean,
Demographics.
Yeah.
well, I mean,
I think to speak to affordability of housing.
I went and Googled and they're like, oh, it's supposed to be like 5 to 8%, whatever, this or that. Are we putting these kids in there when they're not quite? I'm just asking because at 20% or more, what are we doing? I'm missing something. And I mean, I understand it's very expensive. Special ed is very expensive. My niece was, her and her husband, they were up in Alaska. He was in the Air Force. You know, the Air Force doesn't have special ed up there. Got a question. Why? They had a son that's autistic, not severe, but nope. There's no such thing as special ed in the Air Force Base. Nope. You go to a regular school, you do it, and that's all there is to it. I mean, I don't understand it all. Second, DPW's been doing a great job. Yeah, my mailbox took a little whack. I turned around, I fixed it. It's back straight. I'm getting my mail. Whatever. I mean, it's New England, it's Thompson. We're up in the quiet corner. It's a real New England winter.
Certainly is. Yeah.
But I hope it warms up a little bit. It will help on the heating bill. It'll
I
help
agree.
the library.
Yes, this weekend it is supposed to be ridiculously cold, like benchmark cold, -0 degree weather. So
Yeah, with the wind chill of 25, yeah.
that's why I'm scrambling to get the library
minus
heating
25,
system
yeah.
fixed.
I'll be putting the vehicles all up against the house and blocking them from the wind,
There you go.
doing the things that you gotta do.
Appreciate it.
But everybody try to stay safe.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate your comments. Thank you. Anybody else in the room? Any comments? All right, Zoom room. Ms. Bolte, I believe you have your hands up. If you want to unmute and speak, we'd love to hear you.
Jessica Bolte, 1081 Riverside Drive. I just want to say it's a breath of fresh air to hear town leadership actually talk about some sort of advocating with state representation in regards to special education in the economic cost sharing grant. As Jeff stated, that number hasn't been updated, actually closer to 2013. I've had my own conversations with Senator Flexer. She's part of a working committee to adjust that number. Just for everybody's education, if that number was appropriately adjusted for inflation over the last decade and a half, that number would be what we get per student would be closer to almost 17,000, which it would be an additional $3.4 million to this town that would come off of our mill rate, which is why it's extremely important from top down that everybody is reaching out to their representatives. I've spoken with Senator Flexer multiple times. It's been hit or miss with Senator Gordon, and I have not heard a single peep out of Representative Stewart. Do also want to let you know that I have been personally working with multiple Board of Education chairs in our CABE District 4. I actually have a meeting both Saturday and Sunday with several of them in order to get some sort of consistent messaging across the boards to our representatives. And also just a thank you for considering the Girl Scouts request for use of the transfer station for cookie sales. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you. I think those are all valid points. And like I said before, anything we can do to help you in the Board of Education to get out realistic messaging, we're more than happy to assist. It is important to remind the town that we are in fact one town. It isn't the school versus the town. It isn't the library versus the town. It isn't the highway department versus the town. We are all one team. And I think all ships rise and equal tides, or whatever Larry Consigno's wonderful saying is all the time. But thank you. Miss Valerie Clark, if you want to unmute yourself, if you have some comments, we'd love to hear them.
Yep, Valerie Clark, Ulm Road. I want to thank Ms. Bolte for the work she's doing outside of the town on the school issue with special education. And I also appreciate what the selectmen in general are doing. I think I saw Nikki in the room, and I wanted to ask, I didn't get to ask her, ask me anything. I think I have heard her offer to organize a letter writing campaign. Maybe we could have on a chilly day, when the heat's back in the library, we could get a room in the community center and have some cookies and hot chocolate or something and get everybody together in a room and just, even if you're doing it electronically or if you're doing it by hand with a note, if we could all just gather together to get those notes written all at once and motivate everybody, that would be fantastic. And then the second thing is on the library. I thought I had heard that part of the issue with the heating system at the library, and tell me if I misunderstood this, was that additive had not been put in for the winter, and that caused part of the problem. And I'd love to
That
know
was
about
part
that.
of the
Thank
problem.
you.
Our oil company had let that tank go dangerously low. There was a tank change, new install. No one had notified the oil company to add, a winter blend, an additive, and anti-gel. So when it was 5 to 0 degrees, yeah, we did have some gelling. That was a very small piece of a much bigger issue. We've overcome that issue, but now we're really into the thick of it as far as the weeds go in fixing a lot of these tiny little issues that have all amounted to a much bigger issue. There's a huge punch list that was sorted through today and will be finished hopefully tomorrow. I will say the community center is still operating at regular capacity. That side of the building does have heat. The library side, unfortunately, does not. They are working diligently all day tomorrow, and I'll be giving updates as they come in. So I appreciate that. And Valerie, to speak to the letter thing, I totally be in support in that. Any help we can, sure organize that in the upcoming.
I can.
If you, Valerie, I think Nikki's going to say 2 words about that. If the selectmen are good on
I have a
that.
big enough mouth, I don't need
Yeah,
to,
Nikki,
but
you can speak to that. Sure.
so Valerie, yes, and I maybe I should just do citizens comments for you. So Nikki Krasnowski, Mountain Hill Road. The Tri-Point Young Marines are looking for a date actually. So we appreciate those that did come out and support the open house. Anyone who has kids 8 to 18 that want to join, please do. We're starting a recruit class to support the Thompson vets and those in the surrounding areas. They're looking for a date in March, actually, currently, Valerie, to set up some computers and some pre-printed, with Heather's help, she submitted already. She posted them online, I think yesterday or today. The letter that you can actually just print out, sign, and mail in if you want, or you can electronically sign. So we're looking to have both for those that want to send it in so they have a record. We'll have laptops set up for them to be able to do that. And then we'll also have a stack of papers for anyone who wants to come in and just sign. And then we will ship them all out in one big envelope to the organization. We are just trying to work on a date because unfortunately the VFW hall also had no heat this weekend. We did our open house in 43-degree weather because the furnace is on the fritz. So we are working on that. We're trying to get that. So I think it's just to the point of the budgets. This is me as a citizen. That we have pushed a lot of things off and we have asked a lot of people to help and volunteer their time to keep some of our town buildings running. But some of these people also have businesses that they need to run and to constantly stop what they're doing to assist some of these town buildings that really just aren't getting the support is completely unfair to those in our town. I do appreciate those in the town who have come out, electricians, plumbers, and everybody at last minute to kind of help Gary and all the rest of us get that up and running. We appreciate everybody's help, but it's not where we should be. And we should really be supporting the towns and the buildings. So we will get those done in March and I will keep you updated when we have a
Appreciate
specific
your
date.
time. And to piggyback, if we can be of any assistance to that VFW building.
Thanks.
I was
We might
unaware of
need a new
that.
furnace.
Yeah, every building in town
Mhm.
seems. Any additional citizen comments in the Zoom room? Showing no citizen comments. We're gonna go on to I would say the most best part of this meeting is the veteran of the month.
Great,
So Randy, you have the floor.
sure, thank you, Nick. Yeah, I hope I can change the mood here.
No, it's all good.
A lot of negative stuff.
Yeah, it's all good.
But I think I can, I think I have 2 people here that are gonna allow us to change the mood of the room. I'm gonna ask John and say, can you guys just move down a couple of seats because
Or do you want to have them come up and sit at the table, Randy? We can get them a
Okay,
seat.
they're just
Okay.
probably more comfortable there. Thank you. Be able to look at you when I talk to you. First of all, it gives me great honor and pleasure, and it is a privilege to be able to present not only one Veteran of the Month award tonight, but 2 Veterans of the Month, co-veterans of the month, if you will, for a husband and wife that gave their career to our country. Between the 2 of them, basically, over 60 years in the military service between the two of you. And I know it's 32 and 28 before Joel says I've got.
And notably to this town.
I'm sorry?
And notably to this town.
And notably to the town also as Board of Finance and Board of Selectmen, and that is in the in my press release in my presentation. So I am honored to be here this evening to be able to do that on behalf of all veterans in Thompson, and particularly for the two of you this evening. I just want to make sure, just to reiterate what happens. You're the February Veterans of the Month. On February 1st at midnight, you went up in lights in front of the town hall. You have each a board that highlights the fact that you're Veterans of the Month and the branch that you served in the years, and a couple of bullets, as much room as we have available there. Also on February 1st, WINY Facebook, I got over to them the press release. I hope you have seen that. They printed the entire thing in entirety. And I don't know if you've seen it, but there, within half an hour after it was posted, there were many, many favorable comments from people out in the community, not only this community, but all over northeastern Connecticut. I hope you follow that along. That shows you the power of WINY radio. Also, in the Shopper's Guide, today's issue of the Shopper's Guide, there's a nice little ad for the two of you on the bottom of page 2. On Friday of this week, the Thompson Villager will have this entire press release, and it doesn't only go to the Thompson Villager, it also goes to the Putnam Villager, Woodstock, Pomfret, and Brooklyn and Killingly. So you get a lot of coverage there. So you're gonna have a lot of publicity. On a side note, nothing to do with tonight, but I was at the Danielson Veterans Coffee House this morning, and Roy Kitka came up to the table where I was at, and he put his arm around me and he said, "Randy," he said, "you have absolutely no idea how many people that I have heard from since I became the Veteran of the Month last month." He said, people that called me, stopped at the house, stopped at my shop, people I haven't seen since I was in high school with. He said, it was just tremendous. And he said, and I know you're doing one tonight for Joel and Kathy. He said, they're my neighbors right around the corner. He said, they're wonderful, wonderful people. And please congratulate them for me also. So Roy is congratulating you also. So I just wanted to give you that little information. I do want to read a little bit about of the press release here for the people who have not seen it or will not see it, people who are maybe in the audience. But it starts something like this. And this is probably 5-6 minutes, but I think it's well worth for career military personnel. I think it's well worth taking the time so everybody understands how well they did serving our country. Retired Army Colonel Joel T. Hyatt and his wife, retired Navy Captain Kathleen A. Hyatt of Lowell Davis Road, North Rhodell, have been selected by the nominating committee to be recognized and honored as the February 2026 Co-Veterans of the Month for the town of Thompson. It seemed appropriate that February being the month when Valentines are celebrated, it was just perfect to honor this longtime military husband and wife partnership together, as they both have retired from lifelong military careers with significant distinction and honor. And I will tell you that that was not my idea to do but when the committee met back in December, and the first selectman is part of that committee, but it was Amy Sano, a member of the committee at that time, and it was her idea. She said, you know, we've got 2 nominations here, husband and wife, why don't we do them together, and why don't we do them in the month of February? So it was our former first selectman, Amy Sano's idea to do this. I think it was a tremendous idea. Vietnam War veteran, Colonel Joel T. Hyatt served his country in the United States Army with distinction for 32 years, from 1965 to 1997. He began his military career at Fort Ord, California, where he reported for his basic training. He then attended medic training at Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Just prior to graduation, Joel was selected to continue training at the Medical Field Service School as a medical laboratory technician and he was subsequently offered a year-long advanced medical laboratory course, which provided him with 30 semester hours of college credit. This offer required a 2-year military extension from the date of completion. After graduation, Joel was chosen to remain as an instructor in microbiology. This opportunity changed the course of Joel's future. He taught there until January 1968, when he was assigned to the 44th Med BDE in the Republic of Vietnam, arriving just in time for the Tet Offensive of '68. Upon his return to the States, Sergeant at that time E6 was faced with some very difficult decisions: a substantial monetary bonus and a college degree, free with full pay and allowances, were tempting enough that Joel became a lifer and was assigned as the NCOIC of the blood bank at the Brooke Army Medical Center back at Fort Sam Houston. In 1973, the Army, having decided that he would not make a good NCO, commissioned him and assigned him to the 130th Station Hospital in Heidelberg, Germany, as the officer in charge of the medical library and blood bank. As an officer, several different school and training opportunities were offered to Joel. Colonel Hyatt chose the Army Baylor University program for a master's in health administration. Not only did this program result in a graduate degree, but it also issued him a wife, then a lieutenant commander in the Nurse Corps in the United States Navy. And now, 42 years later, they celebrate together as Veterans of the Month in their hometown community. I think that's a real February issue. Valentine's Day. Yeah. A true long-lasting love story, which is just so perfect, so it seems, for a Valentine's Veteran of the Month recognition together. Subsequent assignments included the Walter Reed Army Medical Center in Washington, D.C. as pathology laboratory manager, secretary to the General Staff XO, and becoming the first Army Allied scientist to attend the Army Command and General Staff College at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. Those were some of his assignments during the next decade. His next deployment, Colonel Hyatt was assigned to the Army's Medical Research and Development Command, responsibility for all foreign medical research contracts in foreign countries like Brazil, Israel, Korea, and Kenya. Colonel Hyatt was then selected to command the United States Army Biomedical Research and Development Lab at Fort Detrick, Maryland. This assignment included executing base realignment closure assignments, BRAC, for those of you who understand when they talk about BRAC, for the laboratory. Colonel Hyatt transferred all missions to other commands, including some to the United States Air Force. After successful completion of his downsizing orders, he was selected to command the United States Army Research Institute of Environmental Medicine in Natick, Massachusetts, where he completed his final 4 years of service as a commander. At the conclusion of this deployment, Colonel Hyatt retired from a long and impressive 32-year military career with distinction and honor. For his long tenure as a healthcare administration officer and clinical laboratory officer, Colonel Hyatt was awarded many awards, including the Legion of Merit Award twice, the Meritorious Service Medal 3 times, the Joint Service Commendation Medal, the United States Army Commendation Medal, the Army Achievement Medal, the Army Superior Unit Award, the Army Good Conduct Medal twice, the National Defense Service Medal twice, the Vietnam Service Medal 5 times, the Vietnam Campaign Medal, the Overseas Service Ribbon twice, and the Army Service Ribbon. Very impressive. After retirement from the Army, Joel became a certified master gardener, a helicopter pilot, and a fixed-wing pilot. He also gave back to his community by serving as a member and chairman of the Small Cities and Economic Development Committee in Thompson for a number of years. He also served as a member of the Thompson Board of Finance. We served together for a number of years. He jokingly states that in retirement, he now serves at the beck and call of a very demanding Welsh corgi, a little puppy, cute little thing, and not one so demanding retired Navy captain. These are his words. In addition, Joel and Kathleen have 2 adult children, 2 grandsons, and 5 great-grandchildren that keep them young and busy. The following is that of his Navy captain's story. Vietnam era veteran Captain Kathleen A. Hyatt served her country in the United States Navy with distinction from 1972 to 2000. Kathleen began her military career, in August 1972 as an officer candidate hospitalman. In other words, a student in the School of Nursing at the University of Connecticut. As a student, she applied for and received a full-time scholarship from the United States Navy as part of the Vietnam-era Navy Nurse Corps Scholarship Program. Kathleen remained a full-time student while enlisting as an E3 in the Navy and was commissioned as a Navy Nurse Corps officer, an ensign, in November 1973. From 1974 until 1981, Kathleen was a staff in charge registered nurse responsible for direct patient care and education of paraprofessional personnel, primarily in Navy hospital as a corpsman, in a variety of Navy medical facilities, both in Oakland and San Diego, California, and in Adak, Alaska. Her major clinical specialty included post-surgical and surgical intensive care nursing. From 1981 to 1983, Kathleen attended the Arma Bailey University program in Texas and completed all aspects of her master's degree in health administration, being awarded her MHA by Baylor University in July 1983. From 1983 until retirement from her Navy career in 2000, Captain Hyatt assumed numerous high-ranking and extremely important positions and achievements in a very, very storied and impressive Navy career. Among those included as a medical operations analyst at the Navy Command Center in Washington, D.C., involving all aspects of planning for the delivery of health care to authorized beneficiaries in both peacetime and contingency situations from 1983 to 86, and as a senior health facilities planner for the Defense Medical Facilities Office in Washington, D.C. She provided project development and implementation of data, preparing briefings to key military and congressional sponsors from 1986 to 1989. In August of 1989, Kathleen was selected as the first Navy nurse to attend the College of Naval Command and Staff, which is part of the Naval War College in Newport, Rhode Island. Attendees are selected from all eligible offices across the country. She became the first Navy nurse selected in 1989. And since then, there has been a Navy nurse in each subsequent class. She was the first. Captain Hyatt was awarded her MA in National Security and Strategic Studies in June of 1990, having completed all aspects and degree requirements. Having a Navy nurse presence in this program fosters understanding of the role and contributions of the Navy Nurse Corps to the mission of the Navy and to our national security. From 1990 to 1994, Captain Hyatt was the assistant to the director of the Navy Nurse Corps for plans and analysis of the United States Navy Bureau Medicine and Surgery in Washington, D.C. Among her many responsibilities that this position required were conducting a comprehensive research and analysis of significant healthcare trends and professional nursing issues, including forecasting requirements for nursing care, nursing education, and specialty development for the Navy Nurse Corps, working with a multidisciplinary team to determine the Navy's bottom line for medical department manpower, surveying and analyzing training and practice issues of all nurses deployed in the Persian Gulf in the support of Operation Desert Storm and Desert Shield, and so much more. During this assignment, Captain Hyatt also served on the Navy Nurse Corps Executive Committee for Strategic Planning and served as a member of the National Professional Review Board. From 1994 to 1997, Captain Hyatt was the executive officer for the Navy Medical Clinic in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. There, she was responsible for the day-to-day operations of 4 geographical separate clinics at an annual budget of $6.2 million and 175 Navy personnel in the delivery of healthcare, preventive medicine, industrial hygiene, and occupational health in support of the Navy shipyard and Naval Air Station in Portsmouth. From 1997 to 2000, Captain Hyatt was both the commanding officer at the Navy Ambulatory Care Center in Groton, Connecticut, and the department commander of the Naval Healthcare New England, where she was one of the key architects in developing and implementing an organization that successfully merged 3 separate geographical distant Navy medical commands into a single effective coordinated unit that provides medical care and support to members of all uniformed services spanning 7 states, reducing costs by $450 million annually. Should work on our budget.
Right?
For her years of service to the United States Navy, Captain Hyatt received numerous awards. Among those are the Legion of Merit Award, the Defense Meritorious Service Medal, the Meritorious Service Medal 3 times, the Navy Commendation Medal, the National Defense Service Medal twice, the Navy Overseas Service Ribbon, and the Office of the Secretary of Defense badge. She also received the Josephine A. Dolan Distinguished Service Alumni Award from the University of Connecticut School of Nursing and was awarded the William Souden Sims Award as a Naval War College student who best displayed high standards of academic performance and community service. Very, very impressive. Since her retirement, Kathleen has been an assistant dean at the University of Connecticut School of Nursing, responsible for the Academic Advising Center and strategic planning for the school. A member of the State of Connecticut Allied Health Workforce Policy Board. A member of the Town of Thompson Board of Selectmen from 2005 to 2009. A member of the Teague Board of Directors. A member of the Town of Thompson Housing Authority, a member of the Board of Directors of the Yukon School of Nursing Alumni Society, a member of the Yukon School of Nursing Advisory Board, a member of the Friends of Thompson Public Library, and chaired many, many book sales for the Thompson Public Library. She has also chaired the Woodstock Area Garden Club and is a member of the Navy Nurse Corps Association and a member of the Women in Military Service to America, and is also a member of the Connecticut Master Gardener Association. Wow. I said 5 minutes, I apologize. It was more like 15.
Okay.
Well,
But it was worth it. Please, everyone, join me in saying thank you to both co-veterans of the month, Colonel Joel T. Hyatt and Captain Kathleen A. Hyatt, for your service from a very, very grateful community. Very impressive. Our first selectman, would you like to present?
Absolutely.
Plaque, so we have to. What do you want first?
All right. First off, Town of Thompson honors co-veteran of the month, Joel T. Hyatt, United States Air Force retired, Army retired. Excuse me, I'll be okay. Lot of information on United States Army, 1965 to 1997.
It's small print, you.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. Is it acronym? How do you say it?
NCOIC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of the Chemistry Army Medical Laboratory, Republic of Vietnam, NCOIC of the Blood Bank at the Brooke Army Medical Center medic training and instructor in microbiology at Fort Sam, Houston, Texas. Commission to 130th Station Hospital, Heidelberg, Germany. Walter Reed Medical Center Pathology Laboratory Manager. Selected as the first Army Allied Scientist to attend the Command General Staff College. Selected to command 2 Army Research Laboratories. 7-year member of the Thompson Board of Finance. Certified Master Gardener. Helicopter pilot. Fixed-wing pilot. Thank you so much for your service. You're very welcome. Very well deserved. You both have an extremely impressive history.
I should say.
I would-
Lots of war stories.
Yeah, and you live on Old Davis Road, which I didn't know. Yeah, okay. All right, next. All right, Town of Thompson Honors, Co-Veteran of the Month, Captain Kathleen A. Hyatt, United States Navy, retired. United States Navy, 1972 to 2000. Vietnam War era veteran. Staff charge nurse, Naval Hospitals, 1974 to 1982. Medical operations analyst, planner, Washington, D.C. First Navy nurse selected to be U.S. Navy War College, Newport, Rhode Island. Assistant to the Director of U.S. Nurse Corps, Washington, D.C. Executive Officer, Naval Medical Unit, Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Commanding Officer, Naval Ambulatory Care Unit, Groton, Connecticut. Registered Nurse, State of Connecticut, 1974 to present. Member of the Thompson Board of Selectmen, 2005 to 2009. Connecticut Master Gardener, member of Women in Military Service to America Association. Thank you so much for your service to not only this town, but to everyone in the. You guys want to come up? Pictures of all of us together and a couple individuals of you guys, so you can have those. And we have our amazing photographer who graciously has a camera every time. Here, come on in. We'll take a big group photo with you guys in the middle and us on either side. I can stand. We'll figure it out.
You guys
are
young, you're taller. Yeah.
Hey, here we go.
Perfect. And then we'll get a couple of you two together.
With Brady.
Oh, no.
Yeah, get the three. Absolutely.
I'm the monkey in the middle?
Here we go.
All right, and two just you guys together.
Congratulations.
In it is Valentine's Day, so.
Alright.
Oh. This doesn't count as my Valentine's because it's third.
You can send it a picture of Valentine's Day.
It's pre-wrapped fucking hands. That's right.
Now you're both more than welcome to stick around for the rest of the meeting if we want.
Always the best part of the meeting. I'm just amazed at the accomplishments that individually you both have had over decades, not only for this town but from a military career and a medical career, and you're both passion for gardening and now flying, and it's just I clearly have a lot of work to do. No, clearly not. No. Amazing. So thank you for that good opportunity. All right. So next, got a couple light agenda items, just some approvals for the board of some fundraising opportunities. First, is going to be Girl Scout Troop 65117 and 61193. Request for cookie sales at transfer station Saturdays, March 14th to April 19th, 2026, from 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. I could not encourage this type of community and behavior and fundraising anymore, so I would like to make a motion personally to accept this request. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Jeff with the second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Thank you. You are more than happy to sell Girl Scout cookies at all times, and please come to the town hall and hit us up too. VFW, next, request to distribute poppies at the transfer station May 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 2026. That will be for the duration of their opening two. That's going to be from our post commander here in town, 10088. I'll take a motion to approve that also.
I will make that motion gladly.
I'll second.
Guys with the second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. That is so passed. All right, a couple new hires. Recreation Department is nominating following candidates to hire as a purely recreation after-school program staff member for the remaining of the 2025 and 26 school year. Megan Sweeney, subsequently at minimum wage $16.94 an hour, expected 6 to 10 hours a week. They kindly request that we approve that. So, do we have a motion to approve that
I'll make the motion.
one?
And I will.
Jeff with the motion,
I will.
Larry with the second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Next one I have is also from Department of Recreation. Recreation Commissioner is nominating the following candidate to hire as recording secretary beginning February 26, 2026. Lorraine Gilbert, they kindly request that we hire her as a recording secretary. Now, I think this is important to note. Lorraine is also on our call tonight. She is our fantastic recording secretary who's been with us for a while, and she does a great job, and I appreciate her presence here month after month. And this is just to add her to the recording secretary for that. Her application is subsequently enclosed. Nothing really notable there. So I will take a motion to approve that appointment.
I will make that motion also.
Larry with the motion,
I'll second that.
with the second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it unanimously. Lorraine, thank you. I know you're on this call. Next, let's see. Got a couple resignations. Recording secretary, recreation, and EDC. Lynn, and excuse me if I'm pronouncing this incorrectly. Looby, lobby. Lobay. I don't know how you guys would tackle that one. I apologize. I'm horrible with names. This is just to note that we did receive formal resignation on January 5th of 2026 to Brian, who's the recreation director. I just want to thank that person for their service to the town of Thompson and note that what they have done. That person also has resigned from, they were on 2.5 years, and then also recreation and economic development. So I just want to note those in our thing is thank you for your service, and note those into our system. Okay, next is going to be the America's 250th parade. I do have a sheet here. We do have two members of the 250th committee, one who was on Zoom but magically appeared here in our audience. Must have ran.
I'm gonna say excuse me because I'm overscheduled and way overstimulated.
Yeah, fair. Us too. So I do have a thing here. If you guys want to talk about what's on this sheet, I'll totally give you that opportunity. This is just a really kind of informal thing to announce kind of updates of what they're doing. What they're doing is very impactful for not only our town but abroad, and I think it's important that they have their time. So please sit or stand at our nice table.
Right back to these nice people. I'm gonna stand right here. Is that
All
okay?
right, that's perfect.
Don't worry, the owl can pick me up, I swear.
Yeah, hopefully.
So the thing that's on the agenda and then what's in my hand is actually the registration for the parade. So the parade will actually be on the 4th of July. And I think the reason for some of this being here tonight is we have so kindly gone through the parade route with everybody and changed it. It was a little bit long to begin with, and we've consolidated it and put it to what we think is the right thing to represent America's 250, but also not impact the town, the highway, or anything else that doesn't necessarily need to be impacted. So on Recreation's website, hopefully Brian soon, because it is not there anymore, will be the entry form. We are asking that all those that would like to participate go in and fill in the entry form. It just asks for the normal information. Whether or not you're a truck, trailer, car, or SUV is important to us, so we can start placing people and understanding who needs to go where within the parade. There is a cost. For profit is 30, non-for-profit's 10. Mostly just to be able to cover some of what we're doing that day and to make sure that everybody actually shows up. So everything is going through Thompson Recreation. There's the email for Erica Grow, who is our chairperson of the parade, to contact if you have anything, any questions, any marchers, any walkers, anything like that. It's all on here. We have been trying to do sort of one America 250 item a month. However, we have run into some obstacles. The first one, unfortunately, has been delayed until April. That was the mystery dinner up at the school. It was based out of on a revolutionary mystery. So to keep with the theme of America's 250. An issue arose with chef and we had to shift things and the students and some other stuff. So, and the weather and everything else that goes with this time of year. So that will be now, in April. It is actually the night before the 5K. So we have a 5K coming up. We have a couple of other events. Anyone interested in joining the three of us in the America 250 committee, please come join us. We started out over 18 months ago doing this with a team of 18. So I guess it's one of those last women standing situations because it is down to the three of us. We are trying to rally as best we can. But as you can see, Jess and I have shown up here on Girl Scouts, Young Marines, and some other stuff that you kind of see. So we are trying to do our best to do this as a volunteer organization. But it's really challenging when the town doesn't actually come out to help, but then says we want to see these things happen. So there is plenty of communications. They are up on the website. Our selectman has kindly will announces when we have meetings.
Weekly update.
Weekly update has all of our stuff in. We also post in the comment section. So keep a lookout. It's really important to a lot of us that we during this time come together, especially with everything going on in the world. The kids are really excited about this. The school, unfortunately, when they're not in session, it's hard for them to participate as a school, but we have a lot of students who are asking, how do I march? Where do I march? Who can I march with? Right? So we really need to be able to show this town and everyone else that we are here, that we do support not only each other, but the celebration of America's 250. So if you have any questions, you can email Jess, you can email myself. All of our information will be on there and we can repost stuff on the town for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Said
Yeah,
that much better
Do you
than-
need anything from us as far as approvals or votes or anything tonight?
No, the only thing I think we need to do is basically lay out the parade route, get it in writing to you guys so that everybody can agree that that's what it is for the constables and for everybody else. But that's really, I think, why we started with relooking at the parade route, right?
Yeah.
We know a lot of people wanted to see it start and end at the medical center, but it's just not feasible. It's not
No.
feasible with floats. It's not feasible with the traffic. It's
It's a
not
lot.
And I
feasible with
sat
the.
and watched, I don't know how many cars fly by us and we're like,
Yep.
unless you shut down that exit to the highway, it's a safety hazard.
Yep.
So, and you know,
I think you have a good route.
Yeah,
It's
so-
good.
so it's, you know, we'll go from the school back all the way around to St. Joe's. It's Memorial Day backwards.
Yes.
So if anybody does that route, you'll know that that's what it is.
And I know Erica came in today and we were working on that route officially to get it in, and we'll probably have that at our next Board of Selectmen meeting to present and vote on and then pass off to emergency management.
Yeah,
Where's the parade gonna end?
St. Joseph's.
Okay.
So they'll come in that way. If there's people that need to get back up to the school, rec is gonna use the van to bring them back up, just drivers to go up and get their vehicles, right? The longer floats, they can at least pull in and off the road. Other avenues to get out, they can go out the back by the cemetery, right?
You don't want the front and the end.
Right,
Overlapping.
Yeah.
overlapping, correct. And that was part of the problem when everybody, you know, and then people were like, oh, we can go past I was like, you can't go up by the Little League fields. Like, you can't take floats up in that Oh, trust me, I do that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing that with anything bigger than like a car or an SUV, right? So I appreciate everybody's, patience in all of this, but we want to keep everybody safe. We especially want to keep our constables in spots where they are visible and not behind blind corners and things like that, just so that, a float can go by, so.
So you're gonna close off any of the roads?
Thatcher. Main Street,
So you have to close off 200,
Red,
that's the intersection of 200.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
You
what we
have to
would do.
apply for a permit from the state 3 months in advance, so
Yep.
just keep that in
Yep.
mind.
That's why
And
we
that's
should
why we're
have that
trying
to
to
you
do the
in
parade
next
route now,
beautiful
right,
weeks.
right? So, if everybody's good, then we'll put everything down on the paper so that everybody knows where we start, where we come down, where we go. We'll have like the MC and bandstand basically right outside by town hall's parking lot, right? So as soon as you come down the high school, so everybody will stage up at the high school, come down that hill, announce them as they go up towards the library, go back around and end at St. Joe's.
Are you taking donations to help you fund something?
We
Yes,
absolutely
we are.
That is up on the rec website. So the donation spot's still up. So by all means, we have a couple of events coming up that we are looking for title sponsors of. We're just trying to confirm a couple more dates. Our hope is to sort of get like more of like a press release out of these are the activities, these are the levels that we need. We've got a couple of gold ones, a couple of red, white, blue banner, star, right? Like trying to be as creative as we can to get some interest. We're still trying to get lunch with Rocky for the kids up at the school. That's what they've asked for. They're gonna pay $25 to have lunch with the principal and Rocky, which hey, why not? If we can fundraise by using Rocky, why not? Another staple in our town for those kids. They love them. So yes, we would appreciate that. You can go onto the rec website and you'll find them.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Here, you can have your big bag.
Appreciate it. All righty, thanks, America 250. All right, other business. I don't necessarily have anything. I know we went over the library situation. It's been a busy week, like every week here in the town of Thompson, constantly putting out fires, so to say. But I will say personally, I still am honored to be in this position, and I am committed, day after day. So, you guys have any other business?
I do not.
As of right now.
No, Jeff?
I'm good.
Okay. All right, so my last it's definitely an exciting thing. Final citizen comments. We'll start with in person and then we'll do Zoom. Does anybody have any final citizen comments in the room? Ms. Bolte, you are more than happy to come up, state your name and address. You can sit
You
or
ready
stand
for
at
this
the
list?
table.
all right, so, all right, I'll sit.
Yeah, you
All
might.
right, so Jessica Bolte, 1081 Riverside Drive. The 8th grade PTO committee will be selling calendar raffles to promote for paying for their end of year celebration for the current 8th graders at Thompson Middle School. Project graduation for high school has a cornhole tournament coming up at Speedway. Thank you for approving the cookie sales at the transfer station. My Girl Scouts fully appreciate it. That is what pays for all of their service projects. For anybody who's not aware, I had 6 Girl Scouts complete their silver project this last year, which included an outdoor classroom at Mary R. Fisher, shoe tying boxes for Mary R. Fisher with to be used in conjunction with their Tiger Pals program, and then an outdoor sensory play area for the Bradley program that's also housed at Mary R. Fisher. On top of that, help out with the 250. Please reach out to Nikki, myself. We're happy to loop in as many hands as possible. I know that there were questions in regards to special education and diagnosing. I would highly suggest if you have questions or concerns on how our percentages are diagnosed, that you reach out to Dr. Jones. He's more than happy to answer any questions that anybody has questions on that. And I think that's it.
Anything about budget, school, Board of Ed, anything? I know we got a lot to talk about and a lot to go through.
We have a lot to talk about and a lot to go through. The budget meetings are posted on the school website. They're posted on the town website. They're available via Zoom. I just implore everybody to participate. You can do it from your home, in your couch, in your underwear. Please don't turn on your video. But like, we need participation. The amount of people who don't participate, our first budget meeting at the school, we had 2 citizens, one in the room, one online. Both of them were Board of Finance members. No other residents attended. And this last one was greatly attended, which was nice to see, especially on Zoom. But we really, really need people both on the town side and the school side participating in those conversations. Thank
I
you.
agree. I want to say quickly about that. I was on that meeting for probably a good half to 3 weeks. How impressed I was by your students who presented. Super impressive, very articulate. Their stories were inspiring. I will say I was very impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Our students are well-rounded. You have
very much so.
music, sports, arts, and those career pathways have been pretty incredible for our students.
And other communities are definitely recognizing our career pathways programs and the strides that we've made. I know personally I've had many conversations with Putnam and they're definitely impressed by what we're doing or what you're doing. We're us, same thing.
Right, exactly.
So-
We do it as one.
Yeah. So awesome. Thank you. All right. Any other citizen comments within the room? Come on up.
Hi, Wayne O'Brien, 108 Paving Road.
Thanks for coming back for the second round, Wayne.
You're more than welcome. I've been hearing you're all about money, money, money.
Yeah.
Got a question.
Go.
Has anybody ever talked to Paul upstairs to find out how much depreciation is costing the town?
Oh, I particularly.
I did.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Because I know you and I had a
You're,
conversation.
you're looking
about
at 600 to $800 million comes off your grand list. You would have a grand list instead of 1.1, you'd have it somewhere around 1.7 to 1.9.
Mhm.
You could drop your mill rate down to $10, $11 per thousand. And you know what? You might solve your money problem, but you got to go to Mayflexa because the state is the one that set up the system and the town accepted it. The townspeople voted on it and accepted it. They didn't have to do it, but they did it because they reap a benefit. Because guess what? You're looking at almost a 45% loss in taxable income. I don't think there's a business in this world that can sustain itself with that kind of loss. And that's in every town. Well, maybe not, because we accepted it. Some other town may have not accepted it. I don't know. I know what this town did. And I mean, when I talk to people and I think he's like my friend, and he goes, I've lived my whole life here. Don't you think I deserve to pay less in taxes? I looked at him and I go, no, your house is worth $500,000. My house is worth $500,000. You should pay the same amount as I do. It's just simple. But he goes, but I've lived here my whole life. You haven't. What's that got to do with paying your fair share?
Mhm.
Just because you lived here doesn't mean you have a right to get it for half price. The DPW can't work that way.
No.
Your library can't work that way. So, I mean, you guys want to beat up, go to May Flexer and say, hey, change the rules. Allow us to change the rules here so that we can get, and oh, by the way, if everybody's got a little more skin in the game, guess what? Maybe we'll do better.
You're more buy-in that way.
You know? You guys have a good night because
Appreciate your
I think
comments.
budget season is going to be rough.
It's going to be very rough, but we're going to sit here and try absolutely as hard as we can and set
You might
realistic
want to
expectations.
start hitting all those state senators and,
Oh, it's already in the works, my friend.
but you know what? Change how we pay our taxes so that not anybody's getting away with a cheaper ride.
We'll do our best. We'll see if we can rally to change that Connecticut state
Good
statute.
luck with it.
Gonna need it. Any other citizen comments? We have one more citizen comment in the room. Come on down.
Nikki Krasnowski, Mountain Hill Road, North Garsondale. I just want to make this meeting as long as possible so you know what the Board of Finance goes through. No, I'm totally kidding. No, the one thing I do want to say on the side of, our budgets and everything else, to Jess's point of people being online, it's great to see everybody on Zoom. It's not great when they don't speak up, right? It's really hard to know where people's mindsets are at. Everybody's making assumptions. Everybody's using information that they're getting potentially not from an accurate location. So the biggest thing that I would say is I appreciate the comments on we can't keep kicking things down the road. We are clearly seeing the fallout right now. There is not a single place where any of the line items can be removed or that people are finding, something that can be cut like we have done in the past. But for the citizens who are making those comments, I ask that you come out and verbalize them or come on the Zooms and type them in if you don't want to do public speaking or send them in as a correspondence and they'll get read. But it is not, we are not mind readers. Board of Finance, Board of Selectmen, Board of Education, none of us are, and if we were, we probably wouldn't have the jobs we have. So, please come and tell us how and what you're thinking about. It makes it a little bit easier when decisions need to be made and to show the support for the things that are out there. All of us, may or may not like what's going on with the special ed, but a $300,000, $500,000 swing within a matter of 3.5 weeks is unsustainable, whether your budget's $1 billion budget or a multi-million-dollar budget. It's just, scale it to your home. It is the impact you feel on your oil and your electricity and 10 times over that when we literally have zero control and the mandates are being placed on us. So I just ask that people come out, that they help everyone to understand so that as elected people, we know what you in the town are thinking now, not what you thought in November of last year or the year before or 5 years ago for some of us. Thanks.
So moral of the story, come to meetings, don't air your laundry on Thompson Transparency and North Rosedale Thompson Forum and get inaccurate information. Come to meetings. I think that's a good sentiment shared by all.
And LBs.
Oh yeah, don't forget, yeah, great food, great place to go. Can always get good information. Anyway, any other citizen comments in the room before we switch to Zoom room? None. All right, Zoom room. I know there's some citizen comments in the Zoom room. There's gotta be. Nothing? Going once? Going twice?
Oh.
All right, I guess that's it. That will conclude our meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you for the great meeting. Stay warm.